Let's open it up for a few questions here. We've got about 10 minutes or so, maybe 12. Just tell us your name and what you do, and just ask old Bradley whatever you want to ask him.
Hi, I'm Raquel, or Rocky. So I know a lot of the times with sales, you are shifting somebody's identity into a version of them that doesn't exist yet, and you are selling them on the transformation. What do you both believe is the fastest way to shift someone's identity so they can totally transform their belief in themselves, which opens them up for that transformation?
That's a very, very long answer. That's like a whole training day. What's behind the question?
Well, the problem that I run into sometimes is that I work with a lot of beginners, and a lot of it is you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And if they don't get immediate results, like right away, I try to give them small wins. But if they don't have some kind of progress, they lose belief in themselves. And they don't see, it's just, I feel like I'm kind of like dangling a carrot. I'm like, you can do it, I promise, like keep going. And they lose a lot of belief in themselves. And I'm really trying to enforce that identity shift within them so that they believe, so that they can believe that they can do this and transformation is possible for
About
them.
80% of the world, or 80% of your people, clients, have just statistically an inferior complex. So they might love what you do, they might see wins and testimonies from other people, but they're like, but it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Right? And then the other 20% have superior complex. They see what you do, maybe they're there for some tips, but maybe they think they can do it without you.
Sure.
So it's talking to two different types of people. So a lot of it is just putting them in like different identities and building them into the identity of the person who is successful, who is the forward thinker. I mean, we can teach you all that. Brad, that's a big question.
Well, I would say, provide evidence. Evidence usually gets non-believers to believe, so you need evidence. So show me someone they used to be. And that's usually the best coaches, right?
Yeah.
So the best coaches are people that used to be who they're helping. So I used to be you. I used to be just like you, and now I'm here, and here's how I did it. And then you're showing them evidence, and that sometimes gets them to move. But listen, I always tell people I can save you from drowning, but you got to swim towards me. And, if you're swimming away, like I'm not coming after you.
You can do that.
And you can't save everybody. So you might like, not try so hard, and believe it or not, when they realize you're not coming to save them, that's when they say, I got to save myself. And, she showed me evidence, and if she can do it, I can do it. And evidence.
Let's go to the next question. Hey, that's a really good question. Thank you very much.
I wanted to ask you, if you were me, what's the best way to genuinely build a relationship with someone like you guys who's outside of my sphere of influence? And I don't want to become transactional.
Well, I think any relationship, you should start with providing value. Yeah. So a lot of times people ask, how do I provide value? And in reality, you're asking me for value by asking that. Because it would be valuable for you to know, wouldn't it?
When you go up to somebody, like Brad, and be like, hey, I want to pick your brain, Brad interprets that as, oh, you want free consulting. He just wants to take my value without anything. Yeah, but if you came to him like, hey, I want to work with you, I want to, I'm a really good editor, I want to edit stuff, I'll show you that, and you're like, well, Brad's like, man, that's really good editing. I'm going to hire you. Now you're causing him to value that, and he's probably willing to share some stuff.
If you're valuable, trust me, you'll become in their little circle. But you have to, provide that value and be real and be ethical.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go with this gentleman over here. Yeah, go ahead.
What are the 3 non-negotiables for business and outside of business? Something that you're not willing to just neglect or don't spend time to improve.
Well, mine are the same in business and outside of business.
What's that?
First is ethics. Like if you're lying, cheating, stealing, and you're a dirtbag, I'm done. That's my main one, ethics.
In my mind, I don't neglect our clients. My clients and my team are the number one priorities besides my family. I don't neglect my clients because my clients have trusted me and my organization and they paid us to get results where they want to be. And they've committed to that mastery, and I take that very, very, really seriously. And I see a lot of people that don't. They just do it for money. Let's take that last question.
do you believe that it's best to double down on what you're good at, or change your behavioral patterns of yourself?
I think it depends on the circumstances. Like if you start a business and you have no funding and you don't have any money yourself, I think you have to change your patterns to do a lot of different things. I think if you have a business and let's say you got a lot of capital because you're already wealthy or whatever, you don't have to do that because you just double down on the thing you're really, really good, and then you hire people that are really, really good at the other thing. So it's all based on context in my mind.
I just try to get better than I was yesterday. And if I'm weak at something, you know, and I have an interest in it, I try to get better at it. Like leadership.
Yeah.
So I can build a team. Because you're not going to go very far by yourself. Like there's no such thing as a self-made millionaire. There's no such thing. You're going to need a team. So when you find a weakness that you need, then you develop it.
Hey guys, Jeremy Miner here. Look, a lot of you leave comments wanting me to help you sell more. So the easiest way to get a hold of me, the quickest way, is to text me. So text me right now. It's 480-637-2944. So 480-637-2944. Listen, I started this company to help you learn how to close more deals, but do it the right way. Text me right now. Let's get back to the training video.
What's up, Brad? My name is Connor Hatch. I work in private equity. I'm finishing up my degree at ASU right now.
Nice.
And you both talked about how you want to avoid jumping from gig to gig to gig and shoot for mastery. In attempt to do that, what do you suggest as far as finding that thing that you want to go for and master?
You got to be passionate about the thing that you want to stay in. Because when there's trials, when there's tribulations, when there's tough times, which there will always be, because that's how I think God decides if you're going to get the rewards, is if you can get through that refiner's fire. You got to be passionate about that one thing. Because if you're not, you're more than likely not going to follow through. So whatever that one thing is that you're really passionate about, that's the thing that I would go all in on. That's, in my mind, what I would do. Brad?
Well, I would agree. I don't agree you have to be passionate, because like I'm not passionate about half the shit I do, but it makes money. So I just
You're passionate about making money.
Well, I just chose. You know, at the end of the day, guys, I like to simplify things because it really is simple. You choose it. You know, you choose it. You just say, listen, you know, I want to do this. Okay, that's a choice. Make it, and then go all in. But the key is to go all in. The passion thing helps because when it gets tough, if you just simply chose it for no reason, you'll change your choice because you're not passionate about it. So having passion towards it is definitely helpful. So when it gets tough, it's something you love, so you just deal with it. Like when I started Lightspeed, I was way ahead of my time. No one was doing it, and everyone told me I was crazy. But I literally believed I was 90 days away from becoming a millionaire. To get anything you want in 90 days, all you have to do is first figure out what it is. That's the hardest part, believe it or not. And then secondly, you just literally in 90 days, if you want anything you want, figure out what it is, put your head down for 90 days, and bust your ass. Bust your ass, like all in for 90 days. Look up at the end of 90 days, and if you don't have what you want, do it again. And I've done that for 25 years, but if I would have thought it's gonna be 25 years to do this, I might not have done it. That's where the passion comes in, because dude, it gets tough. And it's also your mindset. I mean, you can't pray for strength and then curse what strengthens you. And adversity is what strengthens you.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, it's the people that, you know, don't have any adversity. Those are the people I feel sorry for, because they're not growing. And when you start to shift the way you look at things, you know, you start to realize, like, dude, I want it to be uncomfortable. I want problems and challenges so I can get better at solving them, because when you get really good at solving problems, dude, that's when you start making money. And when you get really good at solving other people's problems, that's when you just get extremely successful.
That's when you get paid. You're always going to have trials and tribulations, but what separates the most successful people from those who are not is how they react to those things when they happen.